remarkable.
Children didn't happen, and it's probably because I never really saw myself as, you know, being a mom. Like, I've been secretly okay with it, but I felt ashamed to actually admit that.
Welcome to Listen to Black Women. I'm L'Oreal, and I'm joined by a whole lot of fun, okay? My ladies here are always going to keep it real, hold it down, and be unapologetically Black, of course. Now let's start with my girl, Jessie Woo, right here.
Having the freedom to be who I want to be is having it all.
Danielle Young.
You never
Need some champagne. We're like, Melissa.
Yeah.
I fell for you, girl. Joe Button. Now, I heard he had a lot to say about Listen to Black Women. Or Black, what was it?
They came up with a couple of, you know, quips and funny little names for the show to, I guess, highlight that I was, you know, on a couple of episodes.
Recognizing.
Cheers. Now let's cheers again for that one.
Oh my God.
Cheers to that, friend.
You know, shout out to our brothers for Listen to Black Men. They come over here. Sometimes they got to check us. Sometimes we got to check them. It's an understanding. We have mutual respect. Never called each other out each other's name. I just felt for you because I know the type of person you are. I know you're a very smart, beautiful woman. And sometimes it's cringy and hard to watch. To see a man like him try to act like your opinion, that is not valued like it is over here. Because, you know,
Yeah.
we value you.
Thank you. It's definitely a situation where, you know, I feel like an interloper. You know what I mean? Like, it was very much a man cave before I came along. You know, there was quite a demand to interject a woman's point of view because it was so guy.
Speaking of something else that just makes no damn sense to me, Jonathan Majors. Right?
Oh, Lord. You just...
Numerous times he has said that he's looking for his Coretta Scott. Would you consider yourself a Coretta Scott, ladies?
I think people often forget that Coretta Scott King is and was an activist. And I find it very weird that after you get caught up with being on a white woman, and in the midst of trying to rebrand, you go and you get Megan Coretta Scott King.
Because guess where you ain't gonna find Coretta?
And while I love her too, I have to be honest, this man is going to a Black woman to rebrand.
But they still together.
Yeah.
And he got found guilty. They still together. So maybe
And in love.
they might be in love.
Megan is a treasure in our community, which is why a lot of people were like, girl, no, because like we hold you up here.
I look stupid as hell.
But y'all will support Cardi B. Y'all will support y'all will support all these different ratchet couples, but then you got a problem with who he chooses to get with. You mad because he likes white women, but then at the same time you mad because he comes back to and dates Black women. Make it make sense. When in reality, let's just be honest. The reason why he's dating them probably has nothing to do with anything that you saying, lady.
Let me tell you something. I was on air like, ain't no damn way Megan is dating this man.
And let me make something else clear too. It wasn't that Black people weren't supporting him. His most viral cover was the ebony cover.
Well, I want to go back to the Coretta Scott of it all because even in that little speech, you know, hearing the audio that he was giving to Grace and telling her, I'm a great man, and
I'm like,
don't you know who I am? He was comparing himself to Martin. And it's like you're trying to get a first lady. Essentially.
I watched a lot of the trial. I read the transcripts. There were a lot of times when he was asking that white woman to save him by not saying anything, by staying quiet.
Exactly.
Right?
I've been in an abusive relationship, and I've chased his ass.
Okay.
And he's whooped my ass and stomped me down to the ground. And I had 2 black eyes, and I couldn't come outside for months.
Literally.
And that man, people was defending him, and people were saying that this is a good man, this is my guy, he's a good guy. And imagine being that woman, white, Black, I don't care what color you are, and he whooped on your ass, and everybody's telling you you're lying because you chased him in one video.
Right. Well, you know what? We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
What? See, this is the thing that I have a problem with when Black women have these discussions is because everything got to get so personal. Like, you know what I mean? Everything, like, what does the fact that men are hesitant to believe women because there are women that lie about getting abused have to do with do with you having to walk around with black eyes and all this kind of stuff. People don't know until they have proof. If you had proof, look, I'm going to just be honest. Why didn't you go to the police? Why didn't you file a report? Why didn't you, you know what I mean, do anything? If you hid it, how would you expect people to know? It don't even make sense.
There's a moment when an idea becomes more than just a thought. When you feel.
I know y'all hate the ass, but I gotta watch them, so you gonna watch them too.
So when modern woman, right, we are protecting ourselves because now it's coming to the situation where we're blamed for things. Even when we jump behind and help and try to save somebody, we're the issue there. So is that the modern day woman?
No, the modern day woman is just, we've gotten to such a privilege of being able to shift the narrative of what womanhood looks like. Like my mom married to get out of her house and her mom did the same thing.
Right.
And I couldn't imagine that.
Can we just stop with this narrative of modern women gotta protect themselves? Because it's not true. First of all, anytime that a woman really needs anything, she's gonna call a man. But two, women, y'all not protecting yourselves. A lot of y'all arguments are based on the idea that you're not protected. So that means you're not succeeding. Like, can we stop pretending, like, drop the ego?
For myself, I'm 39 years old now, and I would like to be married and get in a committed relationship and all of that, but I don't want to do so just to like escape or welcome in this next part of my life that I think this person is going to usher me into. I don't want to be nobody's Coretta. Like, I'm having a great time being Oprah. Whoopi. I like all the people that don't want nobody up in their house.
What about when
And that's the problem with black women. Everybody wants to be Oprah. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, wants to be Whoopi Goldberg. And then y'all wonder why we are the way we are and why families are broken, why communities, why, you know what I mean, why we're only 13, 14% of the population. Meanwhile, they're projecting that the majority population in the United States is going to be Mexico or is going to be Hispanic people within, I think it was like 4 or 5 years, they projected that they're going to be the majority. That means they'll outnumber even white people. This is why. Because so many modern black women, they're focused on their careers, they're focused on their business, they're focused on their independence. And that's why we get the results that we get. That's a fact.
you want to sugar daddy?
I really do. It's a
We talked about this, and I told you
There's a website for that.
What is your reasoning behind that?
I mean, I know that there's a lot of negativity around that, but I would love to be taken care of and not be any of my money. I don't want the control part. If I could cater it.
9 times out of 10, when you're leading with the money, it's because you want to be able to control the person.
Yeah.
So you use the money to kind of keep
Draw
them
them in,
in a certain way.
Yeah, but even the broke ones, they want.
They want
do.
control
Yeah,
too.
they
Which
want
is why the modern woman is out here kicking doors
But you
down.
also said, no, but a real man is going to provide and not have to look at it as, well, I'm providing for you so I can control you.
Eventually, it all will. Do you have to be out this late?
And see, that's the thing. My problem with that is the framing. It's a framing issue because, let's be real, what you look at as control is really just being a man. There are men who take it to the extreme and are controlling. Let's not get that twisted. But you guys look at men who are conservative or have traditional values as being controlling. When in reality, as a man, if he's supposed to be the head and he's supposed to be your covering, shouldn't he have a say-so on whether you shouldn't? Like, let's just use an example, right? If you're walking or if you want to go to this gas station at night, right? And you're married and you want to go to the gas station at night, even though people get robbed, it's a bad neighborhood, but you want to go to the gas station at night. Your husband says, nah, I don't think you should go. I don't think you just wait till tomorrow. We'll be fine, right? That's your husband trying to protect you, right? He's looking out for you. He's using wisdom. But you'll look at it as controlling and say, no, and then you'll go there anyway, and then you'll get robbed, or you'll have a altercation, or somebody will try to do something to you, and then you be all distraught, like, oh my God, and man, it's so terrible. And then you'll be mad at him for not going with you or not being there to play Superman for you. And then if he is there, then you're gonna expect him to put his life on the line to make sure that you get back safe. When in reality, if you just listen to him, but you view it as being controlling.
Is it, why are you coming in this late?
That might be respect.
Because it's my job. I'm a comedian. I have to be at nightclubs till probably 2:30 in the morning. And it started off not controlling, but then it turned into that, just throwing little hints here or doing it in a subtle way to try to make me say, oh, well, maybe I don't need to be out 5 nights a week when I know that's where I need to be.
Yeah. Well, how about if it flips? We all have a couple dollars up here, right? Modern woman. Is the modern woman willing to be the controlling one and take care of the man and let him be a stay-at-home dad?
It's not for me because the ship has sailed on children for me. That's just not gonna happen, So for me, having a man in my life is somebody who is will be a really great addition to what I've already set up for myself. I'm now a homeowner. I have a really great job.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So it's just the guy that would be perfect in my life would be somebody who wants to be a witness to my life and I'm a witness to theirs. We're the rich auntie uncle. That's me.
So you never thought about kids, marriage?
No.
I've always thought about kids and marriage, and now it's totally flipped. I am at a point where I do not want kids. However, I'm also open if the partner situation comes in and there's kids involved or what, I am open to that. But I feel like I'm having to keep remaking that piece in order to not make myself feel like I'm mourning some life that I didn't get, that I thought I always wanted. And
it's also making peace with the decisions that you feel like you were always supposed to want, but you never really actually wanted them. If I wanted something to happen, I would have made it happen.
Right.
Children didn't happen. And it's probably because I never really saw myself as, being a mom. It just...
There's a moment when an idea becomes more than just a thought. When you feel it.
It wasn't...
And that's something you notice in our culture versus other cultures. What she said is key. It's true. Women, the young women aren't raised or taught that it's okay to want to be a mom or to want to be in a family. And then they get to this point where it's they're successful, but they're really alone and they're really, what's the way to say it? They're miserable. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's just how many of y'all got to crash out and hit the wall before you realize that what you're doing is not working? It's not working. I'm sorry.
It wasn't in the cards, and I've been secretly okay with it, but I felt ashamed to actually admit that.
Why? Yeah. Because other women made you feel that way? Or society made you feel?
It's a societal pressure to make you feel like if this is not being used, your uterus is not in use, then what use are you as a woman?
Yeah.
You know what
But
I mean?
they make men too, because, a guy that I've been seeing, he doesn't have any kids. And the first thing that people are all, and I was guilty of it too. I was just like, you ain't got no kids? But I caught myself and I was like, no, Tori, don't think like that. Just maybe he just hadn't found that person.
But it's a little bit more forgiving for them. They can get away with being the George Clooney, Bachelor for Life kind of thing.
Right.
It just is. For women, it's just what's wrong with you?
I've met someone recently and, he's in his 40s and he doesn't have children. I'm I had a slight moment where I was like, okay, you sure you got no kids? You sure you got no kids in Haiti somewhere?
Right.
But also I was like, maybe God just saved this one for me. Maybe that was my little treasure to find.
Here's the funny thing. So I didn't see myself having.
God didn't save him for you. I'm sorry. I've been thinking ever since I watched that video with Anton the other day. And I do not think God be saving the people for y'all. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't think so. That's just my opinion.
having kids until I was 35. I had kids 9 years earlier than 35. And so, you know, in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not going to have a career. I couldn't navigate and do as much as I wanted to do. So, you know, now that my kids are older, I feel like I'm a little late to the party. But I'm starting to remove that out of my head because I'm like, no, Tori, now is the time. You know, your kids are older.
I was going to say, you are the party.
Yeah, we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much.
Guys, I played this clip because this is why, or this is what you have to deal with as a man today when it comes to like dating and relationships. You have to deal with women who not only think like this, but women who look up to women who think like this. And so even if they're not, like these women, they're wealthy. Let's just be real. Melissa Ford, wealthy. L'Oreal, wealthy. These women have money. They are not regular bottom of the barrel. You just see that last chick, I think that was Tori Hart, Kevin Hart's ex-wife. The woman that won't even let his name go. She won't even let his name go. Because it's getting her money. But you have women that are looking up to women who think like this. And those are the women that most of us are going to have to contend with and deal with and vet and sift through. It's hard out here, man. It's hard out here. When they say, yeah, it's the dating pool is so polluted, man. It's just pathetic. This is sad. And y'all want to get mad at me because I talk about the culture. Okay.